Thousand Dare Radio is brought to you by Thousand Dares everywhere clicking buttons. All right, let's see who is first. Last video. The suspense, it's killing me. All right, who do we got here? Steve John, obviously better than everyone else. Congratulations, friendo. Hit the like, please. Self-Hordian writes, can we have a video, please, of all your money-saving tips? I know about you drinking coffee that you prepare for the day. And also, I believe you cook at home so you don't spend on restaurants. Also, I know that you flip comics, etc. for extra cash. But could we get more tips from your experience? Self-Hordian? Of course you can. Anyone wants a video on anything? Leave it in the comments below. I can sleep much faster if I already know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow or if I successfully ignore the subject. Content creation can be somewhat maddening. It is work, and it's rewarding. If you can do it, you should. Don't be a chicken. We are all ultimately doomed anyway. May as well have some fun. Remember, the content we create in life echoes in eternity. I'm just a low-wage peon with an iPhone 11, and I'm making some noise. I'm making some noise heard by thousands of people every day. And lately, they've been paying me for it. Much less than minimum wage, but payment nonetheless. All right, so I'm going to tell you how I do money. How I wield earnings and expenditures. In this video, you may learn I'm a lot like you, or I'm nothing like you at all. Currently, after all, we can all change. We can change our ways. All right, who put this soapbox in here? I'm sorry, I just started standing on it and talking, running my mouth. I'm sure you're likely doing better than me, friendo. Yeah, I got some assets, but the incoming, it ain't so great. All right, so I'm gonna spit some things off in every direction, very unstructured, and you can just grab it from the air and put it together yourself. Oh, and please, hit the like button. Your likes expand this wealthy Thousand Dare community. Do you want to see it grow? Take a moment, hit the button. It's that easy. All right, so how I wield cash and my basic money philosophies. The rules I hold myself to. All right, when I was young, I was very good at earning, even without an education. I won't get into all the details, but it was basically restaurant work, sales jobs. I'll sum it all up. In my 20s and 30s, it was all basically blurry. There were some periods of long-term relationships and I guess what I would say is minor run-ins with the law. That also heavily incentivized me to take some time off drinking. There were periods of gym memberships and heavy training. There was a year or two there where I would run 6.3 miles every night. I'm sorry, every other night. Not every night, but a lot of nights. Imagine deciding not to go to a party or to go to a party very late. And there's a couple good-looking women with a gleam in their eye that can't wait till you show up. I don't see that gleam in their eye much these days. But it could be below freezing, and I would go running on country roads. Just the stars and sometimes my shadow on the street. Luckily, I had a great friend who was just as extreme. We would run and exchange cynical jokes. Here's the takeaway here. I mean, I know I strayed off a bit, but who does that? Who does that? I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that do that. I seemed like the radical one when I talk to anyone. So currently, I'm on a money mission and have been for almost a decade, but I'm off to a slow start. Similar to how someone goes to the military or goes to college, I've allowed myself to be separated somewhat from society for quite a duration. I got a lot of catching up to do. I'm very, very busy. That is the mindset. It's that cold run in the middle of the night instead of going to a party. Those decades of drunken blurriness not only kept me poor, but eventually I was very overweight and in rags as well. I had totally let myself go. I've dropped and kept off 50 pounds. I don't know how long it's been, maybe 4, 5, 6 years now, without any drugs or stimulants, unless you count some coffee. What does that have to do with money? Well, a big gut is like a health debt. At that point, you owe your body a lot of restraint and some activity. Or perhaps you could default in the worst way. All right, so fast forward to the past, let's just say the past 3 or 4 years. Here's how we do things now. If I eat or drink something, it is from the grocery store. I'm not saying occasionally I may buy a cup of coffee with a friend, or I may go to a restaurant once in a while to eat maybe fish or liver, something that I don't get too excited about cooking at home. And also to socialize a bit. But let's just say, for the budget, for the most part, 95% of everything I eat or drink comes from the grocery store. Here's a quick gem you might like. Elephants don't bite, mosquitoes do. And what do I mean by that? Big purchases don't often hurt your wealth as much as the little purchases. The little blood-sucking mosquitoes. You stop off at a gas station. Hey, maybe I'll just grab a drink while I'm here. Those can easily add up to be $30, $60, over $100 a month. If you've never done this, get a budgeting app for your phone and start recording what you buy and log it into the app, and it will make you graphs, and you will be surprised. You will witness your money leaks. Look, you think I don't know there's nothing exciting about budgeting? Or is there? After all, it's your budget. Maybe instead of buying soda pops at gas stations for a couple years, you'd rather get your lady some silicone implants. I don't want to be vulgar. I just want to be impactful when talking about budgeting. It's your budget. Whatever you save, well, that's yours. You can spend it on something that you really want. And what about that stack of yours? Is that stack of silver and gold looking sad because you like to spend money on things that aren't really worth it? Ultimately, when you add it up, when you witness it yourself. So imagine what it was like when I had the budgeting app and I went to a restaurant 3 nights a week. And then I'm staring at the monthly totals. I'll also add, it's very unlikely you're going to lose weight eating at restaurants. In fact, quite the contrary. Now, imagine the feedback I got from my budgeting app when everything I drank or ate came from the grocery store instead of restaurants, gas stations, or wherever. How much filthy fiat do you think I freed up? And don't even get me started on pubs, bars, cigarettes, which also leads to eating late night garbage food that not only hurts your wealth, but hurts your health. Big time. Read my lips. Big time. There's a quote, I think it's from Proverbs. It really stuck with me. He who loves wine and oil shall not be rich. Whether you're religious or not, does that sound so far-fetched? All right, so all our food and drink comes from the grocery store. Mastering packing your lunch will be much more valuable than a trip to the LCS today, and will lead to a heavier car coming back from the LCS later. If you're going to DIY just one thing, learn to prepare all of your own meals. Not only will you be wealthier, you'll be healthier. I never make breakfast or dinner with seed oils. Every restaurant you go to does. The Thousandaire definition of junk food is food that anyone else makes for you. And I'm sorry, but that often includes loved ones. But you can vet them, stand over their shoulder, for a month or two. Maybe ask questions. See where their head's at. All right, what's next? If I'm purchasing something and it's not clothes, tools, or food, I'm heavily focused on its resale value. If it's not going to potentially go up in value or at least hold its value, I'm heavily scrutinizing it. I'll see a cool little Funko Pop, a video game, or any kind of cheap plastic thing that I think defines my character and would make a wonderful display. No, I don't care if it's cheap. If I think it's going to take up space and not have resale value, I don't do it. And maybe think about this when you think about buying something. Where am I going to put it? What will its place in my home be? And if I move, will I enjoy carrying it to and from a moving truck? How much do I pay per cubic foot to live in my home? How much volume does said thing take up? Do I want to pay its rent to live here? All right, so I think we've covered anything that we could classify as retail therapy. If you need to buy something to be social or to feel good about yourself, buy an asset. Even if it's kind of high risk, but it still has a pretty good floor and it moves you a bit, I think it's worth it. All right, I'm running out of time, but I'm going to keep spitting some things off. I rented a room out in my apartment to someone who's been a roommate before, and I've known them for over a decade. It's not as cool as living by yourself, but consider the promissory notes it frees up each month and how that affects my stack. Oh, I never delete my videos. I keep them up to show that anyone can do this. If you like, check out some of the older ones and look for my fat fingers and lethargic voice. Also, that guy, he didn't have a lot of gold because he still liked wine and oil. He liked wine and oil a bit too much. Way too much. I'll also add, I do something that would seem like burning cash to others. I'm often very generous. I'm definitely known for over-tipping. I tip people that don't usually get tipped, such as the mechanic at my garage, for example. And I've given away nice things to random people that I see on a daily basis, passerbyers. Not necessarily friends, but friendly faces. People that are working and doing their part, whatever their position is. I like to put a little wind in their sails. And if you're sitting on the sidewalk with no sail at all, I'm sorry. We already have plenty of government help programs for them. And sometimes I want to give them something, but I don't want to encourage such behavior. It's actually damaging to the community. Anyhow, that's how I tithe. I always say generosity plants the seeds of prosperity. Think about that one. And remember, you can't plant the seeds and pick the fruit the next day. Many will not repay your generosity, but when someone does, and someone will, often they make up for all the others and then some. Lastly, I'll say I'm not much of a family guy. When I was a kid, old men often said, never get married. And I've seen what divorces can do. Yeah, I played it safe. Kudos to you if you did not and are doing well. And I mean it. Society needs you much more than it needs me. Maybe. I am pretty useful. I'll end with, I pretty much work like a psychopath. Even though I'm a low-wage earner, I'm still an earner, a doer. I'm even earning right now making this video. Not much. Well, I could earn more if you hit the like button and stick around. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Maybe there's even someone you could share it with that would enjoy it. I usually don't encourage sharing because I'm not sure how I feel about your friends yet, friendo. You're all right, though. Oh, and sometimes I earn on things and I don't want you to necessarily follow in my footsteps, so I don't talk about it. For instance, my last Centenario came from an options trade. I bought it last August and sold in November, I believe. I also held the stock and sold at a high in November and bought every bounce as it dramatically went down each morning and then sold usually within the hour for a 5% gain. By the way, that's the one and only option I've ever bought. But anyhow, the combination of the option and owning the stocks as well and buying and reselling the bounce on the way down earned me over $3,000 last November. Also, I'm a fairly early Bitcoin adopter. I understood it and I striked hard. I even borrowed against my gold to buy more of it. So there is that. So that's also a big part of my wealth. I have dropped a couple small shifts so I can create more content. And as my pay goes up creating content, I will take more shifts off. I guess we'll see how that goes. Okay, if you enjoyed this content, subscribe for more and you will get more. It's that simple. Don't be lazy, hit the button, become a thousandaire, and join this wealthy community of ours. Keep the conversation going in the comments below. Talk about how you save money. Maybe go down there and read the comments and comment on their comments. Self-Warhordian, I hope this response was okay. And if not, leave in the comments below what else you'd like me to talk about. Look for Self-Warhordian in the comments below, click on him, and check out his channel. All right, I gotta go. That's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, wicked job. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list.